What's up, everybody? It's Michael Lee. I try not to sound like a radio DJ when I do my podcast because I really don't know what I'm doing anyway. But I've got a great friend of mine. We've known each other for years. We've worked together for many years too. Mr. Larry McCoy from Respect the Game TV. Also, he's a member of the outdoor group and their whole posse of awesome people that work there. Larry, what's going on, buddy?
Man, thanks for having me on, Michael. We've actually talked about this for a while. Finally, we're able to nail down a time because it's been absolutely crazy this going into this spring, I guess, or this winter or whatever you want to call it. But
There's a little bit of everything right here.
little bit of everything, that's for sure. So, man, it's going good. Like I said, I'm happy to be on, and uh, it ain't. It seems like the days are getting shorter, but actually they're starting to get longer. But not in my world.
Yeah, I'm gonna say in mine and your worlds, the days never get longer. Just the responsibilities and things we have to do mount up to make them the days really short. That's what happens.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, right quick. I mean, right now, obviously, you look like you're in the trophy room office there at home. So I figured you're probably at home today. But where are you at? What you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, so fortunately, I am at home. After this last fall, I was on the road quite a bit. It was, we had to grind it out, boy, and make some stuff happen. But we got the, episodes of the show and stuff shot, and so it's good. So I live in Missouri, and I'm at home in my office, man, and just been grinding away on the computer trying to get caught up from being on the road.
Oh, I know the feeling, brother. I mean, and that's what people don't realize. And when Cody Kelly was on with me on a previous podcast, and
I'm sorry.
yeah, I don't know if I should feel bad for me or Cody, either one. But with that being said, I mean, yourself, Cody, and I, we all have similar roles. Um, we work on the business manufacturing side for companies, and we work on the television side, and I mean, we really are in a position where people don't understand the level of dedication and work ethic you have to do what we do, and they think we just get to go hunting all the time. That's what really people think. That's it,
Yeah,
and that's not true, right?
yeah, no, that is 100% not true. And yeah, it does bring a whole another element to the, throwing the business side of it for what we do. You with Lethal, me with the outdoor group, and Cody, and it's a it's a level of responsibility that nobody would understand unless you're sitting in the shoes. Just because of, I think all of us kind of cut our teeth too on the television side. It kind of let segued into the business side, and does it has it created some opportunities? Yeah, it has, but it's a totally different responsibility than what people would assume. Like you said, having a show, Backwoods Life. It's not like you and Kevin are just out there. Oh man, we're just hunting. We're trying right now. We're just trying to plan on where going to kill turkeys or whatever. Not the case. It's
Hmm.
it's likewise with us. My day to day consists of you know a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, lining up not only that talking about elite bows, talking with sales reps and sales guys, and being in a marketing world, you got to work in conjunction with everybody and to keep everything moving forward. And it's definitely a chore.
There's no doubt. It's a definitely a what I would call a balancing act,
Yeah.
to say the least, because people think we're blessed to do what we do. Me and Cody, we had almost an identical conversation. We really are blessed to do what we do and to be able to go the places we go and know the people and meet people and hunt and do those parts of this job. But we don't have a normal life either. We don't have I don't get to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and leave at 5 in the morning. I don't.
Right.
This thing right here, and I'm holding up my phone. It never stops. Like I get emails all night, all day. I mean, the, you're the problem solver. You put out fires. You have to come up with ideas, and you have to go execute ideas that you come up with. So, I mean, and I know that's not even remotely what we're wanting to talk about on this podcast, but at the same time, like you said, until you've walked a mile in somebody's shoes, you really don't know how they fit.
Right. No, that's 100% right. And I wouldn't change it though. Like I said, and I know you wouldn't either. It's one of those where we're outdoorsmen at heart. deep down, we're redneck hunters that love to go hunt, and being able to talk about it every day, regardless of what capacity, it is. It's still, like you said, we're all pretty blessed just to work in an industry that we love so much, and be able to go out and turkey hunt and deer hunt and produce a television show to boot. So yeah,
No,
pretty
no
awesome.
doubt. And in your role, I mean, you're just like me. We just didn't wake up one day and here we are, you know, hopping on a podcast about how much we do and how awesome we are. Um,
Right.
for those that don't know your background or whatever, I mean, how did you come up the rank? A 30,000 foot overview. Where was day one for Larry McCoy to get on this path to be sitting here right now?
Well, day one was actually archery shop years ago. I think Michael, we've known each other a long time. I think we came into the industry pretty much the same year. But sure some people folks have heard of the show Heartland Bow Hunter. It was just an idea that sparked between two guys, and I happened to be one of those guys. And we started that show Heartland Bow Hunter, and you know acquired a good group of guys, and just went out hunting, and it ended up taking off. Just the film style, everything was different. Then I went to freelance videoing, and freelance videoed a lot of different folks, and ended up doing another show. Respect the Game started. We're on our 11th season now, and it's once we started that, it was just the outdoor group was formed, and they come up and said, "Hey, you want to be a sales rep?" I was like, "I've never sold anything in my life." And they handed me a mat that was color coded and said, "This is going to be your territory." I was like, "Which color?" Because some of those were pretty big, and I was like, "As long as it's the blue, I'm good. I'm good." And he's like, "Yep, it's the blue." So I started off, with the outdoor group too, just freelancing, like I said, then rolling into doing some photography work for them, and then sales rep, and now I'm in a marketing role. So it's been a stair step, taking what seems like yesterday, but it's taken a little while to get there, and you know, I put a lot of hours in to get to where I'm at. That's for sure.
And that's what people don't know. I mean, really, in this industry, everybody's got a different story. I mean, nobody, there's not a blueprint to say, hey, Larry, I want to do what you do. I mean, you have to walk that walk. You have to go down into that trench and figure it out on your own. That's the biggest thing I can tell people. Like, I can sit here and tell you these are some skills you need to have, but you can't just wake up
Right,
tomorrow and say, I'm going to go do this.
right,
You can, but there's a big learning curve that's involved. And everybody's story is different. I mean, like I said, I'm referenced Cody and I's conversation because we had the same kind of deal. Cody's story different than mine. Is different than yours. The different than Waddell is different than
yep,
everybody out there. And you have to find your skill set and you have to fine tune your skills. And then it's really about how you do your job, the relationships you have, the friends you make, and I firmly believe it's the good people always rise to the top. And so
mm,
guys like you that are out there doing things the right way, you're being honest with people and you're working hard, then you get rewarded for it. It's not a, hey Larry, look, we just like your face. You need to be on TV.
I know that's a lie. Yeah, I know that's a lie. My wife don't even like my face.
Is that why she's got my picture up in your bedroom? I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
it's it's in the corner. Behind
She did get my Valentine's card yesterday, right?
yeah,
um, but so you came up through the trenches there. You're at TOG. You've worked your way up the ladder there, so to speak. And for everybody that doesn't know, the outdoor group is what we refer to as TOG, and that's uh, the I'll call the four horsemen stable in there is Elite Bows, Slick Trick Broadhead, CBE Sights, and Scott Releases. That's the bread and butter, the flagship of the outdoor group. Great products. Like I said, we've worked together for many years on with Backwoods Life and everything, using those products. Actually, if you heard any noise a while ago on this podcast, I'm paving my drive or asphalting my driveway, and honestly, a quick caveat to what we're talking about because I'm getting to a point. The guy that's doing it's got to be good buddies with mine, and he watched Backwoods Life. He came out here and he did a patio for me on the back of the house when we moved in, and he got back down the road and he called my wife back because I let Beth. If it's got to be done Beth's way, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I know
Yeah,
that feeling.
I just let it be done whatever she wants. So then anyway, he called her and he's like, "What does your husband do?" And he's like, "I knew it. I knew it. I knew that was him. I've seen every show." Da da da. So anyway, we've got to be buddies from him doing little work for me and my dad and friends. But he came in here a while ago, and I'm in my office / trophy room in here, so I got mounts that you can't see on the video here. But I got mounts all over the place. But uh, he was like, "Man, you talked me into it." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I'm going to get a bow." I said, "Okay, well, welcome to the dark side. Let's go."
Yeah.
And then I happened to say, "Well, I got one right here in my closet. If you want to get into bow hunting, just you can use it. Don't sell it. If you get tired of bow hunting, bring it back to me." But it's one of my elite bows.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
so that's we're fortunate what we do. We do get new bows on an annual basis for the most part. I always take my old bows, and if somebody wants to shoot them that doesn't bow hunt, I'm like, "Here you go. Go
Yeah.
learn." Just don't get rid of it. Don't give it away or sell it or whatever. Just bring it back to me if you ever don't want it. Simple as that.
Yeah. I had no farmer up here at the local restaurant here a couple weeks ago talking to me and about his grandson was wanting to took an interest in bow hunting and stuff and was asking me all about bows and I said, well, where's he live? He lives just over across town. I was like, well, see if he's got time or whatever. Come over. So he come over and that's exactly what I did. I was like, here, we'll take this. I set the bow up for him and to where it it fit him. And I mean, on cloud nine, new bow hunter for just for. I mean, we have the ability to help somebody like that. I mean, it makes you feel good to be able to help someone that's interested but doesn't know how, and you can give them that right path to, whether it could be, hunting deer or just going out and shooting a bow or whatever, anything outdoor recreational wise. I mean, we need more of the kids out there doing that and putting down the Xbox controller. And like you said, this thing right here is kind of taking over the world and what we do. And it's hard not to live with it, but it sure is nice when you can, set it down, go out, listen to some turkeys gobble or fling some arrows or whatever, not have to worry about it.
Absolutely. And like you hit the nail on the head, man. It's our duty as, and I mean, you can call us ambassadors of the sport or whatever terminology. I just call us us. We just do what we
Yeah,
do like
everybody
everybody
does.
else. But at the same time, if we can take some of the stuff we've been blessed with to pass it on to somebody else that gets them to the sport, and then they pass it on to somebody else, because you never know. That guy, the kid that you let have that bow, he may have a buddy that's like, "Oh
Yep.
man, that's awesome. I want to do it with you." And then next thing you know, he's at the store getting a bow or whatever the case is. Or hey, how about Dad? Dad never thought about bow hunting until now. And I got people that don't necessarily bow hunt, but they love shooting a bow. They got the kids in
Right.
the archery programs in the schools, things like that. That's just supporting archery all the way around,
Yep.
and that's what we need to do.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, it's awesome. Leaves a good, makes me feel good to be able to help out for sure. And as I know it does you and Cody and you know any outdoor personality per se. But like you said, we're just us. I just like to go hunt, man. I'm just a old Midwestern redneck that likes to go hunt. I am fortunate to shoot a lot of stuff with a bow or have a lot, shoot a bow anyway. And so I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to go out there and sit in a tree and see what I can knock the lungs out of.
Well, speaking of shooting them bows, you guys, when does your turkey season open up there?
Ours opens up in April, mid-April, usually second week of April, I believe. Third week of
Well,
April, Missouri.
I got you. Well, the great state of Georgia decided this year that we needed to push the season back a week. So instead of like the third weekend in March, we're the first Saturday in April now.
Oh, really?
I'm usually tagged out by then.
Yeah.
So they kind of threw me for a loop here. It's all right. We got we're gonna go turkey hunt anyway. And they took our limit from 3 to 2, and you can only shoot one a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
They got
and
all
all that,
kinds of in Georgia.
they just straight punted us on turkey season. Like it just like okay, just kick me right now. you know.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, there was one year. It's been a few years back though. But Kevin and I were both tagged out in the first week of the season with 3 gobblers apiece, and Kevin killed his last two in one shot. So you can't even do any of that now.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Um,
can't even do any of that.
but with all that being said, like I have hunted in Missouri before, turkey hunted in Missouri, and what is it like the first week of the season you can shoot one bird, and then the
Yeah.
second week of the season if you haven't killed one in the first week you can shoot two the second week, something
Yeah.
like
You can
that.
shoot through the second or third, yeah, week, but they can't be the same day. Yeah. So a lot of
And then
stuff from
and then what time y'all have to quit at like one or
one
two
o'clock.
or
Yeah. 1 o'clock.
I I I, I
I
don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know the. Some people say, "Oh, go gives the hens time to go back to nest," but I mean, regardless, what if you kill that gobbler the next morning? You know, the same amount of bird. You just you know, say the same amount of birds are dead. So I mean, I guess it is what it is. They have the reasoning. Oh, the laws are there. We just got to abide by them.
Yeah, yeah, and when what we do have to abide by the law.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
there is literally no gray area for us whatsoever.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I know like Nebraska, they've got an early bow season. You know, I don't know many states that have. I think Kansas may have that too. They got
Yeah,
that.
Kansas does as well.
So with that being said, anybody that has followed me for years or knows anything about me knows that me and bow hunting turkeys, we don't jive. Like I get my old rotate shotgun out, I put that bead right there on the bottom of that last wattle, and I let that head get a load of lead in it. That's just my style. But for those that do bow hunt turkeys, and I'm not knocking bow hunting turkeys whatsoever. It's just I just like down here, these dadgum turkeys down here have PhDs. They're hard enough to kill with a shotgun at 50 yards some days. So that bow, is extremely challenging. I've had actually people that like they have almost, I think, disliked me because I say I don't bow hunt turkeys. Like it's offensive to some people. But in your world, and you know me, give us a rundown of. I mean, if somebody wants to bow hunt turkeys, give us some quick tips there that to go by.
The first tip I would give is be committed to it. You know, how bad do you want it? Type of deal. You know, if you want to commit to bow hunting turkeys, you're going to have probably some opportunity. They would be opportunities with a shotgun, but you can't capitalize on them with a bow. Things have to just kind of fall into place. One thing I have done though is made a lot of mistakes. You know, I've made a lot of mistakes bow hunting turkeys and bow hunting deer for my, but it's made me a better hunter all the way around because I was able to learn from those. I was able to you know not make that same mistake twice in those similar situations and change my setup just a little bit. But historically, it's about really committing yourself to it and knowing where to shoot the animal. Obviously with a shotgun, you're going to aim at the head, and you're going to shoot them with a bow. It's a totally different game. You got the angle of the bird. You got to know where the kill zone is, knowing that you're shooting at a spot about like this, and being able to because they're tough birds. I'm telling you, they're tough birds. I mean, I've looked like Carl Lewis out there chasing around in the wood before, on shots that I thought were good, but weren't, and, and then running them down. So yeah, if I was going to give any advice, it'd be committed to it, practice, look at the anatomy of the bird so you know where to shoot the bird, where to aim, where to, and just be committed to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that goes for the most part of anything in hunting that you want to accomplish. I mean, you have to stay the course. It's really hard to shoot one with a bow if you're sitting there with your gun. I mean, that's
Right.
my dad tells me that for years. He's like, it's hard to kill a deer with your bow if you got your rifle up there.
Yeah.
And I was and speaking of being committed to it, I was hunting in Texas with Mike McFerrin. With Legends of the Fall.
Yeah.
We all
Oh yeah.
we all know each other, hunt together, work together, and Mike had this one buck that he's like, hey man, we're gonna try to shoot this deer, and I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna take my bow. I went in, but it was the last afternoon, and I said, well, it's last afternoon, Mike. I'm gonna throw this rifle in here too in the blind, and that deer came in he came in feeding and he was facing me. He was behind a couple does, but he stayed facing me for 10 minutes. Never would turn. I had my bow. Finally, he turns and he's walking at a full draw. He's at 20, 21 yards. And he just needs to stop in a clear spot because all that Texas, that grass and stuff out there is pretty nasty. And then, man, he didn't give me a shot. And next thing I know, he's pushing the doe. He's out there 60 yards or something like that. And I'm like, all right, last afternoon rifle.
Yeah.
I didn't stay committed.
Right.
But with that being said, with turkey hunt, and don't get me wrong, I have bow hunted turkeys. I am 0 for. I have missed every one that I've tried to kill with a bow. I'll admit that. And that's why I quit. I got frustrated with it. I think if I lived somewhere like a South Texas or, somewhere that's just, you have a lot of turkeys, a lot of gobblers that you're going to get multiple shots through the season, I probably would go that route more. But here in Georgia, man, most of my life growing up, you had to work your butt off to get a shot at one, much less, now two. But I admire those that do. I know, I think, and having hunted in Missouri, because turkeys in Missouri act different than turkeys in Georgia.
Yeah.
From my experience, and you correct me if I'm wrong, if you got a strutter decoy out there in Missouri, 90% or probably 99% of the time, they're coming. They're going to get right in his face. Am I right?
Yeah. They in a lot of the parts of the state, that's for sure. They do have attitudes, and they ain't afraid to show it. There's another bird in their field. They don't want them there. They're going to come, and they're going to come fast, quick, and they're going to either put on a show, but they'll usually read the script in a lot of cases. One thing too about archery hunting turkeys as well is, for some reason, like you said, you missed turkeys. Boy, they get under my skin whenever I'm there. If I'm gonna get rattled on an animal, everybody's heart rate goes up, and you get the shakes on a deer and that. Man, there's been some times on turkeys where I've been like, it's just a turkey. Calm down. It's a turkey. I shot and missed one. This is no kidding. 7 yards. 7 yards last spring. And I turned around, looked at Ryan, the camera guy, and I was like, if there's anything that you could do wrong shooting a bow, I just done it. I didn't look through my feet. I was literally I didn't know where my pin was at. It looked like it was on him, but it was that close. And I was that shook, and I'm like, man, but what do you do? That's part of it. That's what it's all about. I love that adrenaline and stuff, but just because, I've killed a lot of turkeys with my bow, fortunately, and that does not mean I won't pick up a shotgun or I'm afraid to pick up a retay and go crawl on them, because I'll tell you what, I love to blister that beak just as much as anybody else does.
and I will vouch for that, because Larry and I and our buddy Phillip Vanderpool and Kevin does Backwoods Life with me. We all went to Nebraska a few years ago, and I tell you what, it was probably one of the most fun turkey trips that we've had. And so I'll give them the brief rundown, and you can interject wherever you feel free. The first afternoon we go out, we go hunting, and they let me shoot first. Larry and Kevin are calling and filming, and we're all just sitting under a shade tree in a field where we were hunting with Brady out there, and Brady said, there's going to be a bird around here, this afternoon. Okay, cool. We put the decoys out. Sure enough, we're sitting, I think we were on Instagram Live.
Yeah, we were.
And Kevin called, and I mess with Kevin all the time. We pick on each other left and right. I'm like, oh, man, I'm sure that'll bring him right in, just picking on his calling, which it wasn't bad at all. He called, and I'm like, yeah, that'll work. Turkey go. I was like, oh, here we go. Now he's going to make me look bad. And it was, 5 minutes later, here comes this gobbler, just bowed up, coming to the decoy. And we were out there with Phillip Vanderpool, and Phillip takes turkey hunting to another level to me, because he's going to have the decoys out, and he's going to have his main camera. He's going to have a camera in the blind. He's going to have 2 cameras on the decoy, a trail camera in the there's like 7 camera angles that you've got to have going on to get this turkey killed. I didn't even let the turkey get to the decoys. Like, we're sitting there, I'm like, you on him? Larry, yep, boom, dead. I go back and like, Phillip, I didn't let him get decoys. Like, what, man? Come on, buddy, you didn't let that turkey get on there and put on that show? And I was like, No, man, I like to kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
But so we knocked that one out, and then I think it was the next morning. Me and you and Kevin, we slept
Yeah,
in that pasture, but
yeah.
like a back of a pasture. There was a bunch of birds roosted right there. They flew down. They were gobbling like crazy, and I think some hens or something came out across. And we sat there long for my patience run out, and I said, "All right, Larry, let's go find them. They got to be right here." Sure enough, I get my and this is where we invented iPhone outdoors. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think I had like an iPhone 4 or something like that. I don't
yeah.
even remember what it was. And I'm like, what do we do? Kevin's like, what are you gonna do if you see one? I'm like, got my phone. We're gonna record it with that. It's HD, Kevin, 4K, whatever it is. We got something. So here we go, creeping around the corner. I was like, dang, they're right there, Larry. What do you mean? I was like, they're right there under that tree. There they are. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna kill him. Let's go. So,
I'm like, I'm fixing to kill him. That's what I'm going to do.
so I got my phone out. I hop over Larry's shoulder and we ease around the corner and boom, dead
I was
turkey.
like, you are? And he's like, I got him. I was like, boom. And then they started flopping. But you remember that tree, that old dead tree they were
Yeah.
roosted in? I was like, I mean, literally, they were, all the trees were one height, and there was one dead tree that just went up. I mean, not a leaf on it. Looked like it'd been dead for 50 years. And every bird on the farm was roosted in that tree. It looked like a big old wad of buzzards up there. We're like, if you can't tell where they're roosted on this farm, I said, Ray Charles could see where they're roosted on this farm.
I got technical difficulty in my ear. Let's see if I got this thing back working again. You still hear me? I can't hear you now. That's the problem. Hold that thought, America. We have technical difficulties with us redneck podcast here. My built-in. Hold on. Now my computer's thinking. Now my computer's thinking. This is tragic.
Smack on Michael.
Oh, now we're back on again. Is that what we're doing? Is that how we're going to be Apple? You don't want to play well with others? Now, all right. Now I can hear you again. Wow.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now we welcome to high tech redneck. So,
Yeah.
but answer your question. Yes, that one daggum tree would
Oh.
fill up with turkeys, and
There wasn't a leaf on it. I mean, you could spot them from, 600 yards.
everywhere.
It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Like every turkey on the farm was up in that one dead tree.
So the turkey hunting purists probably frowned upon our bushwhacking that one, and we did what we did. I mean, we're gangster on him, and then we did the same thing. I think on one Kevin kill, we maneuvered around the field and finally figured out where they were going, got in front of them. But my dad said, if you get in front of them, you're the best turkey caller in the world. Simple as that.
That's right. That's right. Yep, that's a fact.
And that's another thing. I want to throw another Big Mike quote in there. You're talking about when we were talking about bow hunting turkeys. They're not hard to hit. They're just easy to miss.
There you go.
That is fact.
That they are. That they are. There's a lot of truth to that.
Well, with all that being said, man, I mean, I'm looking forward to turkey season. I probably will not bow hunt them, but I'm gonna go turkey hunting anyway. What trips you got lined up for turkey season?
Oh, I will probably start off in that Kansas for the archery season, but of course Missouri here, and outside of that, I'm still trying to kind of plan to see what it is. It's been kind of a weird, turkey season's been weird the last couple of years to me. So I've seen things fall a little bit later, so I'm kind of waiting to see how the birds act right, early around home, so I can kind of get a better gauge on what they're going to be and how they're going to be acting like in Kansas or in Nebraska. So, but I'm sure I'm going to guess wrong, but I mean, at least I feel like I tried. And so I know Kansas, Missouri for sure. Thought about maybe trying to go to Ohio and kill an Eastern out there. But we'll see. It's hard to beat hunting the Merriams. So I'm going to have to do a Merriam hunt, I think, but just because they're fun to shoot with a bow or a shotgun.
There's no doubt. Dad and I've gone to South Dakota. Well, we didn't go the year of COVID, but we went last year and the year before COVID, and we got one. We each had one tag the first year. We did that in the first 15 minutes, and then last year we had 2 tags each, so that's 4 turkeys. And by the end of the first day, we were done. So, um, and what's bad about that is we fly out there because that's like a 20-something hour ride from us from here. And if you tag out the first day, there's nothing to do in South Dakota in that area.
Yeah,
It's almost like being in jail. You get
yeah,
up at your hotel room, you got 4 channels, and there's
yeah,
1 restaurant and a bowling alley. And I don't bowl worth of crap, so that's not a lot of fun. And my dad is the worst in the world to keep entertained for lengthy amounts of time. So we've literally got that rental car, and we probably went from one end of South Dakota to the other, just looking at scenery, and there's nothing to see.
yeah. And there's nothing to say outside the Badlands.
No, that,
Okay,
nothing,
we're done.
nothing.
We're
Yep.
done.
But
But
well, man,
yeah,
and, hopefully you have a great turkey season, bro. I'm going. Well, I'm going down to Florida. We'll be here in Georgia, of course. We're going to be in the Strutmaster Classic in North Carolina. That the,
oh yeah,
the little 1 day turkey hunt deal. Our buddy John Tate and his
oh
guys
yeah,
put that on. So John had invited us to come be in that. So we're gonna give that a try. See how
cool.
we do. It don't matter. It's just for charity. So we're just gonna go have a good time.
Yeah.
And then I got a buddy in Tennessee. I've turkey hunted in Tennessee one time with my buddy Jeff Gossett, and I killed a couple there. So I'm going a little bit further west in Tennessee. A buddy of mine up there's got some dirt, got a lot of turkeys, and I think we'll hit Texas, and that might be it for me. I'm not gonna travel the world shooting turkeys this spring, but it's gonna be busy enough.
Yeah, but it's going to be busy enough. I guarantee it. Because some of those states you mentioned, that's multi-bird states, and
Hmm.
I'm going to take
In
advantage of
Texas,
the
in
time I'm
Texas, you get 4.
here.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
I'm
4.
going to take advantage of my time while I'm here. Exactly. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
See, if we're smart on the video side of this turkey hunting stuff, we go to 3 or 4 states that you can kill the most turkeys in, and we're done.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
turn around, you done killed 5 or 10 turkeys and hadn't gone that many places and had a good season. Simple as that.
yeah. I'm stoked about it. I'm going to break out, like I said, I'm going to break out the Rite as well. And this spring, I'm gonna shoot a few with the bow, but I got a little bit of revenge to get on them for last year. I did kill my biggest bird ever last year, but you know, I'm not gonna say, hey, I scouted him out. The thing had hooks that long, and I passed up 4 before he showed up. Nope, not the case. He just happened to be the dumb one that came to the decoy. That's
That's
exactly how it happened. And then I
that
was like,
that.
hey, he seems heavy. Boy's got long hooks. And he was like, yep, that's a big bear, biggest turkey I ever killed. So, but that's usually how it goes because I'm not a spur checker, a beard checker. If he's got a full fan and he's coming to the decoy with an attitude, he's most likely not going to be leaving.
In the
Except
famous words of my counterpart Kevin Knight, and he said, "You gobble like a man, you die like a man. It don't matter how big you are."
that's exactly right.
And I
uh,
will say, there's probably been a few Jakes that have died on accident because they just acted too much like a grown man.
yeah,
So,
I'll
just
tell you
saying.
what, they swim in Crisco just like the big toms. you know,
My grandfather growing up, he swore to God we should start shooting hens all the time. They eat better. I don't know that. I didn't try it. I don't know.
right? Yeah, right. Well, Missouri, like in the fall for the archery season, you get turkey tags on your archery tag, so you can shoot 2 turkeys in the fall with your archery equipment, tom or hen. So in the past, there's been some years where I'm like, oh, man, there's a big here comes a big gobbler coming down the hill or whatever, a group of gobblers, and then there'll be 4 or 5 hens or whatever behind them, and I'm like, man, so theoretically I should probably shoot a hen. That way the gobblers will be they'll be acting right in the spring, and then that gobbler steps out in the lane and it's like. Like, well, that idea went to crap.
Well,
Yeah, we packing a gobbler out.
that's like saying I'm going to go doe hunt with a buck tag in my pocket.
Right.
It could happen, but if a buck walks out, different story. Different story.
Yeah.
So,
So it is what it is.
well, good deal, brother. Well, I won't keep any longer. We've been on here pretty good a little bit. Welcome to our world for a few minutes, everybody, because this is how Larry and I talk like this. This is how we talk all the time
Exactly.
for a podcast. You know, we talk a little bit of business and then a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
um, you said you're headed to the NWTF, which this may roll out after the NWTF show, but have fun over there. Go by and check out them retail shotguns. I like to
Oh
say
my
retail.
gosh, I will. I may need to upgrade. May look at one of them dirty 20s. That's I call them the
Mm,
dirty 20.
mm. They nasty, man. They nasty. Just
That's what I hear.
go over there and see Jesse at Retail and tell him that Michael Lee sent you.
I will. I
He'll either
will.
run you off or take care of you. I don't know which one. But,
We'll
but
see,
man,
man.
have a safe trip there. If you see anything that I need there, get it for me. We'll cross paths. I'll pick it up later.
All right, that sounds good. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Right on,
Uh,
brother. Well, tell everybody right quick where they can find out more about Respect the Game TV.
Respect the Game TV. You can go to Respect the Game TV on Facebook or Instagram. You can go subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have questions or anything in regards to hunting gear, anything that we use, shoot us a message, man. We'd love to hear from you. But yeah, just go there. Sportsman's Channel Tuesday nights, uh, every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, because you're Eastern, so I'll say that.
There you go.
That's 8 p.m. Central, by the way. And then but yeah, man, it's fun going out producing and having buddies like you and Cody and the whole crew to. Of course, we all got to get in a hump camp together one time. That'd be pretty entertaining.
There would not be a lack of comedic content. I will promise you that much.
Oh, there ain't no doubt. There would definitely probably be some stuff bought for gag gifts or whatever. Yeah, there'd be a lot of pranking going on. I'm sure of it.
There is no doubt whatsoever, man. Well, I appreciate it, bud. We do have some more news coming down the pipe with Respect the Game, small town hunting, and backwoods life involved. We can't say anything right now until we get it all nailed down, but we'll just tease y'all with that. So
Yeah.
we're going to expand our horizons. How's that?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited about it.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Well, we appreciate everybody listening. Larry, thanks, man. Always a pleasure for us to catch up. Hopefully, somebody learned something from this podcast and
Yeah.
thought about a different angle on something. If not, then maybe they were entertained for 30 minutes or so. So,
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, man. It's like I said, it's always a pleasure to jump on and like I said, this is just like our normal conversation. So this is smooth sailing. So, but thanks for having me on, man. I love being a part of it, and like I said, I'm looking forward to. Like I said, we've got NWTF coming up, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be streamlined turkey season.
that's right, man. It's right here, just weeks away. So, all right, brother. Well, maybe if you get freed up there after you stuck a few with a bow, want to come down to Georgia, holler at me. Let's get it.
We'll have to do that. Like I said, I can still do her. I can still do it.
I got two of these fingers. I can shoot left-handed and right-handed. All right, my man. Have a good one. We'll catch up soon, bud.
All right. We'll see you. Take care,
See
Michael.
you, man. All right, bud.